You're on.
I'm on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're on.
I'm on. Instagram. Good morning. Facebook. Everybody. Here we are again, Sunday. Yay, Sunday. How's everyone feeling? Hopefully you've had your coffee already, or you're having your coffee, or about to have your coffee, or you're about to learn more about coffee. Either way, welcome to Sunday. Back live, Oceana Coffee, doing the live education and sharing and just hanging out with you guys. Hopefully you're out there telling as many friends about us as you possibly can. Remember that we have that competition running again today for the Toddy cold brew system. So we're going to give one of these away to somebody at random who has nominated or who has tagged 5 of their friends, 5 of their associates, 5 of their friends, 5 of their...
Coffee.
Yeah, and Oceana Coffee. So you have to tag 5 of your friends and Oceana Coffee. Get it out there, share it, let them all know. You know, in these tough times, it's always better to have a far bigger reach and people knowing about us and getting out there. So we're going to probably start doing a lot more of these as we go, seeing how, depending on how successful this one will be. But it's a free Toddy, free cold brew, brand new in the box, cold brew system from Toddy, from us. That's not sponsored by Toddy or anybody else, so that's just purely us. We'll ship it out wherever you are around the country.
If Toddy would like to sponsor, we can send out more.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Toddy, if you're on board, let us know. So let's switch the music up. We'll get something a bit Australiana going on here. Let's see.
Do you need a hug?
Do I need a hug? I always need a hug. How's my shirt? Can we focus on that? Yes. My other passion, coffee, chocolate, bourbon. Alright, so yesterday we spent the day messing around with cold brew. Lots and lots of different types of cold brew, lots and lots of different home making methods. Hope you guys got a lot out of that yesterday. And we've got, you can see the background, we've got the remnants and what we've got, what we actually brewed yesterday is being pulled out of the fridge. It's a little bit more than the 16 hours for some of them, but going to have the same effect and same achievement of what we're looking to do. We're also going to mess around with a little bit of a hack, a little bit of a kitchen hack to see what we can do with steaming milk or foaming milk, at least anyway, and give you guys an inside run on that. Whether you're making so at home, if you brew a coffee and you add foam milk, it's called a cafe au lait, for those who didn't know. If you're using a mocha pot, then you're going to get a fairly decent cappuccino style drink, and we'll foam some milk and see what we can what we end up with. And they're going to be live attempts, so you guys are going to be with me on this, and whether we mess it up or not. Jeez, I nearly didn't say that right word, but we're good. I said messed up. I'm good. I got to remember this is live. We can't go backwards. All right, so the Toddy's had the stopper in it all night, and it's had the brew going. It's been in the fridge, so it's really cold. This is actually, you can see it sweating. So with this whole system, can everyone see me? Can they all see me?
Yeah.
What?
Brandon Burr wants to know if you can make coffee from mushrooms.
Isn't that a thing?
No, you cannot make
It's not
real
coffee. You can make mushy, maybe, or shroomy, or something.
What does
Soup?
Brandon think?
I put, if you know how to do that, can you fly to Florida and come on the show?
Actually, it would be an honor to have that man. He's a great friend of mine, amazingly knowledgeable character, and super nice guy at the same time. So, dude, you'd always be welcome here. You know that. The Toddy, we're gonna finish off the process. So this guy actually sits up on top here like this. All right, I'm just gonna show that for now. Can they see me? Am I in the right shot there?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So the tricky part is picking this up and actually grabbing the stopper, making sure that it doesn't end up in the mixture. So we'll quickly move that out of the way, and there you go. It's very unspectacular, wasn't it? I thought I was in for a massive deluge of coffee. Yeah, I won't say that. That's just rude. See what I got to work with? The girls are bad influences, I tell you. They're a bad influence on me. It's not me. Promise. Thank you. And we'll just so here's the other one we were doing as well. This one went overnight as well. Difference was this one actually, and I'm being raw with you guys and straight up, like, we'll just put that aside there. This one was in the fridge, 16, it was actually ran about, what did it run? Probably 18 hours, I guess, somewhere like that. Ran about 18 hours in the fridge, and it's gonna drain away there for us. This guy was at room temperature. You watched it do it. We started over there. I was running about a drip, one drip to every 1 second, 1.5 seconds, and this was the end result. It's also a concentrate. It's a really, this setup's pretty cool. I don't even know what these run at and what the price point is, but easily cleaned up. We'll just get this out of here, and then we'll sort it out.
Hario makes that, right?
Yeah, Hario makes this. You can probably find it online. It's gonna run it's probably at least a $200 unit. I'd say something like that. I would not. And I'm gonna be straight up. This is a great system, but I'm not sure that I'd be patient enough for me to use this every single day. So, but delivers an amazing coffee. And I've had a request for a cold brew latte. Was it?
Yeah.
Cold brew oat milk latte.
Yeah. How did you know? Because I asked for it.
So let's see. So I'll make it out of this for you. What else do we have? We had our cold brew concentrate from the shop. And we had the cold brew that we did last night. And we also made the French press as well. So this is the end of the French press. You can see it's been in the fridge as well. I much prefer to do my cold brews and brew them in the fridge. Keep them in a captive environment, nice and safe, and nothing flying around, no bugs can get in there and all that fun stuff. Where else do we got? Let's make... Miss Amy, would you like a tall one?
Sure. I just linked the Hario dripper on the page if anybody's interested in checking it out. And then the toddy is on our website. I can link that too.
So let's do this. I had a shot glass here earlier. So what's everybody up to today? It's Sunday, is it? Normally everyone will be going to church. What's everyone doing in place of going to church these days around the place? Share with us what you're up to. I'm going to do this one out of here. We're going to do. Let's see what.
Stacey Ann Linden joined.
Actually,
Another coffee professional.
Stacey, up there in Canada, eh? Lovely Canadians, they're good people. Let's do this one.
Barber here yesterday.
Do we really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he's a legend of the industry. So I'm gonna it looks pretty light. You know what? I'm gonna try this and taste it straight up.
Whoa.
I'm gonna get this party started.
We're gonna get some projects done today.
I got a huge project done yesterday. I finished off, for those who don't know, I'm a car guy. So I do all my own work on my cars. And that's solid. So I own a Holden. I actually own a Holden here in the US. So it's a modern day collector. So I decided I like to make things go faster than they naturally do. So I lowered it down on nice low springs yesterday, performance springs, to get me around the racetrack a little bit better. What I'm in the middle of, I'm making you a latte. You want an oat milk latte? Do you want a little bit of foam and texture in that?
No, thank you.
No? Oh, come on.
Just cold.
So I'm gonna beef
Ron
up.
Ortiz is on. Hey, Ron.
Ah, big Ron. Actually, hey buddy. How's the how you doing in the games world these days? Ron, for those who don't know or follow Strong Ron Ortiz is an amazing man. Plays in the CrossFit world, has won the Masters CrossFit how many times? 4 or 5 times, Ron? I don't know. He's an idol of mine, especially in the CrossFit world. Got a couple of years on me and shows us all the way to how to keep fit, how to look after ourselves, and definitely shows us the higher end of what can be achieved in the later years. You know, when we're plus 40 and plus 50. But Ron Ortiz, mate, and a great guy, a super nice guy, one of the most genuine characters you'll ever meet. Let me know how that is for strength. I did like 1.5 ounces.
Which one was that? The one out of the dripper?
Want more coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was out of the dripper. You want more coffee? Yeah. So the one out of the dripper actually comes, you can see, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it is a little bit more. Let's put up a comparison.
Compare it, yeah. Good idea.
So I'm going to show you a comparison, a direct comparison. If I got something white I can put behind this.
For the people that just
Here,
joined, we are comparing the cold brews that we made yesterday. So all the cold brew concentrates, we did 3 different methods, and so we're currently comparing each different method just to see how they all turned out.
And for those, and for the pros on board, Brandon and Stacy, you know, what we do when we make anything in coffee and how to compare it and know what we're up to and what we're getting in an extraction. We actually measure what's called TDS, which is total dissolved solids, and that is the amount of coffee solids and amount of coffee elements that are pulled from the grounds into the liquid. And that we've talked about that a couple of times with the extraction and large grind versus small grind. It gives you different extractions, and the aim is always within the SCA guidelines, and even me as a Gold Cup certified SCA technician, I've gone through that whole course. I'm also a Q grader, so I've gone through that side of the course as well. And what that all ends up being is the chemical extraction of the elements and the extraction from the cold brew into the actual liquid measures the strength of the coffee within each one. And you can see, and it shows for everybody else, for us normal folk, you know, it's going to show up in how it looks in the glass. And I'm going to put this up against the white background, hopefully here somewhere. So I've got the 3 different extraction methods that I did yesterday in cold brew. Let's see if I can we can find something. See if I can find something.
Is that one on the end
white
of the
plates?
Wait,
Plates are
actually,
white.
you know what? Plates are white. That's a good idea. Mind my butt.
I was really zoomed in there for a
Hey,
second.
where's the look? My shorts for the day. All right, so those. Let's see if we can see. We're going to show Instagram first, I think. We can see this one here on the end is the cold brew from the French press. This one here is the drip, the Hario drip, and this is what actually comes out of the toddy. So the toddy's over there dripping away, cleaning itself up. I'm going to turn this a little bit for the Facebook folks. You can see the same thing. So you can see, and actually, me looking down, this is also a good thing as well. This is the concentrate from what comes out of the toddy. This is the Hario drip, and this is the French press. And I really have to stop saying don't I? But what you can also notice is the different methods, also the clarity in the extraction. You can see here, I can see it from here really well. But because there's no paper filter whatsoever in the French press, you're going to get that body and that extra sediment and that thickness in the flavor. And that, it's very apparent in the French press anyway when you brew it hot. But when you brew it, even in this cold method, you're going to get the same because it's a wire mesh filter. So you're going to get the natural oils, you're going to get the sediment, and you're going to get that cloudiness in the brew extraction. The Hario, because it has a paper filter and a metal filter in the little system. I couldn't show you that, guys, but very, very clear. And the same thing for the toddy. The toddy, if we separated it out a little bit or thinned it out a little bit more, it would show you the same clarity. So that's really cool. But the strength, like we talked about yesterday, the actual strength of flavor, but also the caffeine content is going to be much higher over here in the toddy, purely because of it's partially because of the ratio, the water to coffee ratio that we're using, and also the quantity too. Like we're making a very concentrated batch on that method. Like we said yesterday, it's nearly 4 times or 5 times a regular cup. In equal parts, this one is nearly 4 times the caffeine content, and also the TDS measurement on this one is much greater than both of these. Anyway, a little bit of trivia, a little bit of science. Hopefully you guys are still with me. Where else are we at? What else do I need to do here? So
you need to add some more coffee to her latte, I think.
Let's see if we can I have the toddy one?
Woo, yeah, this one? This much? All right. So anyway, so it goes back and it's going to be all about flavor for you guys. So it's about messing around, finding out the ratios you like. I gave you guidelines to start with yesterday, so you guys can go and do that and find out what it is you like and how you like your coffee. What I'll do is I'll pour off the French press and get it out of the French press. And then what you guys can do, this is what we do at home. If you make your cold brew, pour it off into a jar that you can seal it up and put the lid on it is the best option. So, with those mason jars and whatnot you can find around the place, Walmart and all those fun places, you can grab the mason jar, whack a lid on that, throw it in the fridge, and that's going to be good for, like I said yesterday, it's going to be easily good for 7 days. I would definitely say you could easily put the concentrate in the fridge for 14 days. That's a French press, and that's given us about 16 ounces, I think. No, yeah, probably a bit more than that. What's it say on the side there? 2 cups. So it's given us about 3 cups, which is about 20 ounces. So it gives us 20 ounces of cold brew. You most likely, depending on how you like your coffee, you could pretty well drink that straight up. So I'd say that's probably the closest method to being able to brew, let it steep overnight, and then you've got a coffee to drink straight up and ready to go. I think that's probably one of those methods where you can pour it into a cup and drink it up and away you go. The toddy, not so much, definitely not actually. It's a much more concentrated setup. I think also you could probably cut this one, the Hario. You probably cut that maybe 2 parts the coffee to one part water. I mean, and this is all personal taste too. So, what coffee did I put in that yesterday?
The cold brew blend, I think. Wasn't that what we had the big bag of?
It's really good.
I hope so.
Yeah, sorry. This is what happens for me. I do what I do. We do what we do, and we play around with lots of different things. And there's times I still have those moments during the day and those moments during the week where it's like, oh my god, that is an amazing coffee, or that is a great way to do this, or so. I guess that's part of why we're here. We're here sharing it, keeping it raw, keeping it real. What else do I need to do here? So that's one method. I showed you guys one method. We just did that for Amy. We did probably went. What did we do there? If we did 2 ounces of concentrate to probably
10 ounces.
It was probably a 2-to-1 ratio anyway. 2 parts oat milk to 1 part coffee. Pretty good blend. Should be buzzing away. And this is with oat milk.
favorite milk is Planet Oat. We don't have any of that right now.
No, new product coming to the market. Well, it's actually already out there, isn't it? As a retail product.
Yeah.
We were part of the. We were part of the team that was helping develop that product, and we'll have to find out where the barista version is coming up. But anyway, moving on. Let's move on to the next thing. So we said last week, didn't we say last week we're going to do milk hacks?
Yeah,
How to get foamed milk at home.
Textured milk.
Textured milk. If you don't have, if you don't have an espresso machine and you're not able to get nice foamy milk to add to your cold brew, if you wanted to do it that way, in the early days we used to make our lattes with steamed milk.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the very, very early days. Very labor intensive, but that's what we were doing. So we are going to do a couple of different methods today. Let's try, what do you want to try first? There's a manual method. What's this for?
I don't know.
Just to test me?
That's for when you made pancakes.
That's when I made
earlier.
pancakes, alright. See? Don't leave the husband in the kitchen.
Do you want to try the shaker bottle first, since that's the simplest?
Sure. We're going to heat it first.
Yeah, so you can heat that in a glass measuring cup.
This one. See, now I'm being directed. So, alright, so here we go. So, if you've got a protein shaker bottle, this one is with my local gym. This is the guys who I love and hang out with and work out with every single day. CrossFit Palm Beach, local guys, run by the Fraser brothers, but he's got an amazing team with him. They've got an amazing team with them, and they do a phenomenal job keeping lots and lots of people fit and healthy and moving functionally every day. The guys, all of us are getting hit really hard. It makes it tough when you don't have your community to be able to hang out with in the morning, and so it's all this new world of being remote and training remote. I've even built my own little workout place out the front in our driveway. We've got a bit of artificial turf, and I just built myself a pull-up bar, so that'll be interesting. That might be my project today. Back to coffee. Alright, so I'm going to put in, this jar actually marks it out. It's got 1 cup, 2 cups, 8 ounces, 16 ounces, and 24. We're gonna fill this one with, this is regular milk, low fat. I think we're going to fill it to the 2 ounce line. And we're going to play with, so we're going to use a microwave friendly jar. Now this doesn't have to be microwave. If you guys aren't into using microwaves, of course, put on the hot top. I don't think we've all got the time to just stand around watching Scotty heating milk on the hot top, because it's a bit like watching paint dry, right? What'd you say, a minute?
Yeah, about a minute.
I can operate a microwave. We're good to go there. So the protein shaker bottle, actually what I was even going to use or suggest is that anything, even a marble. I remember as a kid, I did an experiment back home where we put heavy, what do you guys call it here? We used
Heavy whipping cream?
Yeah, is it sweetened here?
No.
Sweetened condensed milk?
No, just heavy cream.
Yeah,
back home it's
sweetened. We sweeten
what was it called back home? Back home it's
American.
Back home it's just heavy cream. They take the actual cream off the top of the milk. They put it into containers back home for us, and anyway, what about back home? But what we did as a kid was we used to put a marble in a container. We used to actually get a square Tupperware container, stick a marble in that, lock it all up, and shake the living life out of it with the marble in it. And the whole process was to make butter. So that's what we used to do as kids. And then we'd sprinkle a little bit of salt in there, close it up again, and just Mum had just set us on our way. And obviously a good way to entertain us, good way to get us out from under her feet, and a good way to entertain us. So we used to do that. All right.
Scotty used to have to churn butter as a kid.
with a marble. Back in the day,
Did you walk 2 miles to school?
bike.
5.
I had my BMX bike. I sorted. So 2 ounces into the. Now, this is a couple of things to be careful of course. One, it's hot. 2, the expansion. Once we start aerating this, the expansion of the liquids and the gases within this.
Just leave it open.
Leave it open.
Yeah, leave it vented a little bit.
How am I? You can already hear it. I don't like this idea. So this is not I don't think this is a very functional idea. I haven't got the knack or the patience. But so far, so far, so good. We got anybody out there watching us?
Can you tell we've done this before?
No,
I
I'm
did
doing
this
it wrong.
before. This is where your wife sets you up to. Here, try this.
So it's actually starting to work. I'm a little bit surprised, but it's a great little, good, why not? It's a good little hack. If you wanted to add something to your coffee in the morning, let's grab a cup.
Put a little vanilla, a little maple syrup in there.
Yeah. Actually, any
A
of
little
those.
cinnamon?
Cinnamon, oh, yeah, that'd be my favourite, wouldn't it? So funny. Is there anybody out there?
Yeah, there's people.
People? Alright, so let's do a 50-50. Put that one in there. We'll pour this out, see if we get some foam.
I had to spoon it out before.
Yeah, just spin it out. Anyway, so you can see this is the result of before.
Got a couple people laughing.
Couple people what?
Couple people laughing.
Couple people laughing.
So we can see it's not even going to come out for us. And pour it.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
So look, we got foam.
Can we do the Facebook one up?
So you can have the big box. You can have the big box extra dry latte if you like. Ooh.
It's not the greatest texture.
But so many people already have a shaker bottle in their house. So
You know what I think would actually work would be a bit of a better idea is if you actually if you wanted it cold, that wouldn't even work. But if you wanted it all together, you could just stick the coffee in here with the milk, all warmed up, and give it a shake, and you're gonna get texture. And you will actually get some water. The whole idea is aeration, so you're gonna get some air mixed in with your coffee, and you're gonna get some foam.
Was that oat milk or regular milk?
That was regular milk.
Okay.
So then we can pour it back out, and look at that. I just made myself a look. See, just like that, we got a latte
Woo!
with foam, ready to go.
Using cold brew concentrate.
Cold brew
and
concentrate.
microwaved milk.
Whatever floats your boat, it's worked. I'm making a hell of a mess over here, so I want to tidy that up. Other couple of methods. If you have a stick blender, is that what you guys call it?
Emulsion.
Stick blender?
Immersion blender.
Immersion blender, stick blender, one of these things.
Hey, Karen Gray.
So we got 2. If you got this attachment, can I plug me in?
Yep. Actually, you know what? Plug it in where the espresso machine is now.
Good.
Good.
Okay. Alright. We're in. We're on. More on. Alright, so a couple other methods. We're going to do the same. We're going to heat this up. Quick 2 ounces. We've messed around with this a little bit before, so it actually is not a bad method. A couple of things to remember also is that the ideal temperature, here's something that you don't get to know being at home and don't get shared with it from the professional level, is that milk, the ideal temperature of steamed milk should end at 164 degrees Fahrenheit. That right after that, then you're moving into a zone where you've actually burnt the milk or scalded the milk. A lot of the reasons. So, does anyone out there know why we steam milk? Anyone? Bueller? We steam milk for for many different reasons. We got any answers out there? There's lots and lots. So the reason is obviously it looks pretty. You can make art with it all once it's all done and emulsified, and you've got a nice microfoam. So that the presentation always looks good. The second,
Answer.
we have, who is it?
An answer.
Shoot at it.
Jessica Anderson says it brings out the sweetness in the milk.
Get that woman a prize.
True story.
Who trained her?
Ah, I was going to say that. I know her. So, yes, true. That's definitely true. There's a couple of things. How do you when you first take a sip of your latte, what is it you're looking for? What is it you want to do? And I want some different music. So, you want to sort that?
What you had yesterday was good.
Who was on yesterday? Oh, Diesel. Yeah, go down and find it if you can find that Diesel one for me. Just recently played or whatever. Anyway, lots and lots of different reasons. But one of them is that when we steam milk, we actually are bringing all of the components back into the milk. We're blending them and emulsifying them a lot better and more blended. Because milk contains fats and sugars and a few other little bits and pieces in there, when you steam it and you raise the temperature of the milk, you're starting to caramelize the sugar. So you're actually bringing out back the sweetness of those sugars, and it's like a creme brulee. That when you when you put the torch over the top of the sugar on the top of the creme brulee, you can do it really, really nice and gently, and you bring out that super sweet brown sugar style flavor, or you can go darker and you get that molasses style. So with milk, we're looking to emulsify everything together, the sugars and the fats, and we're also looking to add body to the milk. So when you bring the milk to the correct temperature, we actually train our guys to turn the to stop steaming at 155 degrees F. That is because once the steam is interacted with the milk, the temperature actually continues to rise, and it will stop at about 164. After that, the milk actually starts tasting burnt. It actually gets that molasses style, tannic style flavors going on in it. So 164, there you go. Long story to get me to 164. 164 is the definite temperature. I don't know what this is right now. Let's see. We'll do a quick temperature check. 1 minute. So it looks like we're going to end up around 125. So if because I've been waffling on for about 30 seconds to a minute, it's cooled down a little bit. So I'm going to say that this was probably in around the 140 mark when I finished microwaving it. So 8 ounces, 1 minute in that microwave gives us about 140. And what we can do is we'll just get this in here, give it a zap, see what kind of a mess I can make. My wife's holding her mouth and going, wait and see this.
I was going to say hold on to the jar.
Hold on to the jar. So what we're looking to do is actually introduce air into this whole thing, and you're going to watch this as it increases in body.
Oh, you're good at this.
This is the first time I've done this too, by the way.
He's not making a mess at all.
I'm not kidding. This is the first time I've done it. How'd we do? I don't know yet. Let's just put that down. Give it a swirl and give it a bit of a tap. I don't think this one's going to introduce the air. I mean, it's definitely aerated it, but it hasn't. I don't think it's introduced air into the milk itself. I think what we've done is just really aerated the whole mixture, so we get that ultra dry foam on the milk aspect. So we'll pour this off. I'm going to use these glasses. And pour this off. Let's see what we end up with. See, mostly warm milk with a little bit of foam texture on top. You can see it dropping out there. So, is it a good method? Yeah, you know what? You're gonna taste that. You're gonna have that first initial texture of the foam. So it's gonna be an okay method, and we'll get past that one. We'll switch it out, and we're gonna get. Can we silence that?
Yeah, well, no. But I'm gonna just chat.
All right, so we'll do the same thing again. Actually, I'll measure the temperature as we get it out this time. I feel like I'm losing my way, so we need to ramp it up. I'm about to. 2 ounces milk into the microwave, 1 minute. What we'll do this time, we will measure the temperature of the milk directly out of the microwave and see what we got going on there. In the meantime, the toddy is done. So you can see we don't need to bung it or anything like that. We got a nice big coffee bed in there, and the leftovers is all strained out. Now, yesterday you could see we were given a bag. The toddy comes with a bag yesterday, but we didn't use it. But this would be a great time, you know, for you guys if you want to go down that path to just pull the bag out and throw it in the trash, or you actually, you know what, put it in the garden, because this stuff is adds a lot of nitrogen back into the dirt and is good for your plants.
Kayla's on.
She missed
We
us
had
yesterday.
a question on what's the best milk to use.
Great question. We use, me personally, I use alternative milk, so I'm always using plant-based. The milks we use in the stores, the most popular one is 2%, correct? We use whole milk. Whole.
Whole is the
Yeah,
most
whole.
popular.
Yeah, so whole is the most popular. I think, and this. You know,
Whole definitely seems the best. Like
Yeah.
if you're trying to get the best foam,
yeah.
use whole. But
Yeah.
it's all personal preference.
Yeah.
You know, we use oat milk here at the house
And
and in the shops.
there's a reason, and so that becomes the technical reason of why whole milk is better. And the whole milk is better because it has the fat solids in it. That's really what makes it the thicker, easier to foam, easier to steam, more proteins in the whole milk, higher sugar contents usually. Depends on, and here's a little spin for you, depends on how they have put the milk together. You know, and I'm not sure how many of you know this, but you know milk is manufactured, like they deconstruct it and reconstruct it just for us. So they actually control how much of the fat solids go in, how much of the protein goes back in, and how much of the sugars and everything else that they want to put in the milk. The milk that we get today, and this is from lectures that I've sat in, the milk that we get today is not straight out of the cow. It doesn't just get squeezed through pasteurization or homogenization. It actually, it's not a bad guess. So we're at 140. So that's straight out of the microwave, 2 ounces of milk, and we're at 140 degrees F. But yeah, milk is manufactured and can be manufactured. There's actually some of the barista competitions 2 years ago when the Aussie guy, when Sasa, actually was a few more than that, when Sasa Sesic won the World Barista Championship, he actually had a milk company in Australia manufacture the milk that he wanted specifically for his event. So milk can be definitely remodeled any way we want. Let's see how this one does. I got my hand over it. First time at it. I think this one's going to do a little bit better because we're able to smash the air into the milk itself. But the trick is when you do this, you have to find a place where you're introducing air into the liquid solids of the milk. So not just creating foam, but you actually want to emulsify the liquid part of this to create a lighter bodied, more aerated body of milk. Look at that. I think we're
Always turn it off before you take it out. Just a good little tip.
bit like the toothbrush in the mouth, the electric toothbrush in the mouth. What?
So how's the texture of this?
Much more. This one's more. It seems like it's more. It's definitely way more microfoam. Let's pour it out into a glass and see what we have. It's definitely lighter. It's definitely thicker. Look at that, and definitely more down the path of what we get in the cafes. I can see the two together. You can see the one on my right, your left, has got smaller microphone bubbles. The one on the right, my left, your right.
Let me get closer for the gram.
No, don't worry about my hand modeling. Don't model my hands.
In when you drink that, what's the difference going to be?
Well, this one I think personally, I'm not going to drink it, but personally, I think you're going to get bubbles and then liquid. This one, you're going to get that aerated liquid, creamier, velvet, buttery. You know, so you're actually going to get an emulsified, aerated liquid, and this one you're just going to get bubbles and liquid. But I think for home and making a coffee, I think they're awesome alternatives for sure. I think so far the hacks we've had a crack at this morning, I think we've definitely shown that it can be possible. And if you like your extra dry lattes and you like your foamy textures, it's definitely going to be a good way to go. And definitely, this right now we could add some of the toddy cold brew. We could add 2 ounces of toddy cold brew, and you're going to have a
little macchiato.
little iced latte. Look at that.
There you go. Wow, look at that.
Straight away.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it shows you the difference. So that looks the deal. And that, for those who drink the milk, that would be amazing.
Laura Kiley is giving you so much love from the west coast of Florida.
Hello.
Says you're better than Emerald.
Better than Emerald?
Can we tag Emerald in this?
Bring him
Does
on.
anybody know Emerald?
Let's show him a thing or two about coffee. What am I going to play with
I
next?
think my good friend John Sullivan knows Emerald.
John Sullivan from Guanabanas and Modern Jews.
Yep.
John.
So you can add this to your brewed coffee. You could add this to your cold brew that you've steeped overnight. What else?
However you want. I mean, I think because we heated it and it went to 140. I think if we poured it straight into the brewed coffees, I think you'd get a nice cafe au lait, a little bit of texture, a little bit of foam, and you can have even at home you could pretty much call it a faux cappuccino-ish. I mean, it would be there, and like I said, if you really wanted to get daring, you could grab the protein shaker and put the whole lot into the protein shaker, give it a quick whisk, and put it back into the glass. I mean, personal preference. Look, we keep saying it. Coffee is personal. It's like you do whatever you want. I'm just giving you guidelines and places to start, why not, why not experiment? Why not do it completely opposite to what I say and, come up with something new?
Let us know.
Let us know, yeah.
Got something at home that works.
Don't get lost in, like I say to the guy, all of you guys at home, and some of my great mates, Brandon in particular, and the boys, Mark, and all the other boys that I hang out with. Look, there's no rules in coffee. Why not do what you want and make it taste the way you want and have it all your way? It's, that's why we drink the stuff. It's like, some of us drink it to get up, some of us drink it to energize, some of us drink it for pleasure, some of us do it because it's a profession now. But it started as a selfish hobby, and this is where it got me to. And there's one thing I'm always, no matter what I do in all the things of life, I always, I want to be the best at whatever I do. That's good, bad, or indifferent. But I also want to know what it is I'm doing and why it is I'm doing it. What are the mechanics behind all of this? When we first got into this with the popcorn maker, I bought in a bag from George Howe. I've said it many times, and an amazing coffee. And I was like, all right, how do I do this every single day so I don't have to wait for my package to come to me? But that's my drive, and that's the mechanical side of me. Also wanted to work out the physics of how to roast coffee. So here we are. What, 10 years later, 12 years later, 12
and
years
as
later.
Jennifer just said, you can also just keep coming to Oceana Coffee. That's also
I love that. Jennifer, I love you.
That's valid.
That's awesome. You can always, we always got the coffee on the shelf. When we are open and we're fully functional, actually we still do. You just can't stay in our cafe. That's okay. You can always come to Oceana and grab your drinks, and the girls are going mad at me now, I tell you. You can come and grab your cafe, your lattes, and you come and grab your iced cold brews, and you can grab everything. We're still open, we're still functioning, we're still doing takeout, driveway, whatever it's all called. But we're still there. I'm still roasting 3 days a week, and looking after a lot of our wholesale customers. And for those of you who are down Fort Lauderdale, down south, if you're ever traveling down to Miami or down south into Fort Lauderdale, make sure you drop into Cali Coffee. Cali Coffee down there on, what's that main road they're hanging out on? Just off 95. They've got a full-on drive-through system. They do a great job. Craig and Rose, go and see them, go and visit them. They got amazing coffee, of course, and they do lots and lots and lots of different things, lots of specials.
29th Ave, Hollywood.
29th Ave in Hollywood. Can I get more?
A little bit more, yes.
Only I need to
Actually,
change
you
that.
don't
I don't
need
like
that.
that system.
Here, hang on. And you got it.
Alright.
Power management.
I'm not liking my music choice today. Alright, are we live on that one? Can we see what's going on? You guys can't see. The Graham can't see, can they, really?
Facebook can't.
Alright, so for those of you who can't see, can see, this is a terrible setup. I need a power extension. We've got a little Mr. Coffee. We were saying this little guy here retails at like
$40.
$40. Is it $40?
Uncle Phil, it's only $40.
So, Mr. Coffee, I know, don't cringe, don't cry, don't hang me for this, but the reason we bought this out, keep cup. If you guys ever want a really cool little cup, the reason we bought this out is because this is actually the smallest, the cheapest electric espresso machine. I've already filled it with water, so this is going to be. We're gonna rough this together. I can tell you straight up. I haven't played with this yet. So it comes with a few little bits and pieces. This basket actually holds about what's it hold? 22 grams of coffee. It can hold 22.
It'll hold a little more, but I put 22.
So
I'm
it's
gonna put a
a,
link for this machine as well, just so people can see.
so we'll do the same. Actually, I'm going to separate the basket so it makes it easy. So it sits up on there for me. Switch that on. This is espresso ground. So you know the finest setting you've got. If you got a burr grinder at home, go over the very, very finest, and then we'll put between 20. You know, we're going to rough this. It's going to be between 20 and 22. So each one of these scoops is about 6 grams by the look of it. It is. So that's roughly 18. And so I'm going to put it. That's going to be good. That's 20. So that's 20 grams. And so what I was doing this morning was also finding, because it doesn't come with a tam. So that, of course, you know, it's a budget orientated little machine. They suggest using this, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
They suggest using this to flatten out the grounds. They also suggest not packing it down very tight, so we won't. But what I'm going to use, I found a bottle of everything bagel spice that fits just nicely into the top. So I'm going to push it down just a little bit. I'm not going to pack it down. And look at that, beautiful. So there you go. At home, we're keeping it budget. Remember,
Those
this
are
is
Whole Foods Market 365
there you go.
spices. They're jar lids. That
I've also put 2 ounces. I think it was about 2 ounces. I put 2.5 ounces of water using the little thing into the top. And the way this thing operates, and the way they get it to operate, it's a little bit of mechanical trivia. The way they get it to operate is they use steam pressure. This is how this is going to operate. So this here is actually the top of the little boiler. So you've got to make sure that's nice and secure. I've just squeezed that down. And then on the side here, it switches from a little valve control. So it's going to hit from water to steam. And we're actually going to steam some milk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to put that there like that. How much does it put out?
It's going to put out almost exactly what you put in, which is about 2 ounces.
All right.
You put up to the little 2
I'll
mark?
put a little bit more, but that's
Okay.
okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to mess around with steaming milk with this little guy. So just to show you guys, I've got my steaming pitcher. I don't know what they would suggest.
It comes with a steam pitcher.
It does.
No, it doesn't. Just kidding.
Just kidding. All right, so a couple of things. We're gonna hit. Get my glasses on. We're gonna put it to brew. So this is right now. So it's on and running, and it's going to. You can see the little light there. And it's going to build up pressure in the boiler to squeeze it out through the water, through the coffee puck, and we'll get a brew.
Use this one. It's smaller.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. We're gonna do oat milk or regular milk?
Do oat milk.
Do oat milk. Be the challenge. Some of the other parts that help make this a fun little home unit. If you can't, because steaming milk actually is a skill, and it's a learned skill. It takes quite a bit. Our guys, how long does it take you to train somebody for just to steam basic milk?
I always say 8 hours.
8 hours?
It's about an 8 hour.
To get them to steam it really the way we like it and the way it happens, can hear it heating up. But back to the machine, this little piece comes off, and the reason this is even there or that's added is because it's a milk, it's an air eductor, and what happens is it's a cheating way and a great way for the home user to get texture in the milk, and that is because it adds air into the milk and steam at the same time. So it's using the induction of air to create the bubbles, and it's actually using the steam to get up the temperature. So you can see this little guy. We can turn it off actually once I've got the 2 ounces.
You can turn it off once you've got enough.
I'm going to turn it off to. It's off there now. We've got that's about a bit more than a double shot,
crema there.
A little bit of crema. I didn't pack it down very tight, so we shouldn't get very much crema, but it actually smells pretty good. So we're gonna have a crack at the steam. If I just switch it over to steam. And without doing that, and as you can hear, it's really pulling in lots and lots of air. I'm gonna switch it off because I don't like that, and it's done really, it's massive foam, like it's just bubbly. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cheat. Wipe this off and take this guy off. I'm going to use just the steam nozzle. Where'd my other one go? And we'll try again. So you're going live with me. You can all see what's happening here. It didn't add any temperature to that, so a little bit of oat milk. Hopefully it can get deep enough. So really, it's a pretty short wand. Sorry about that, young fella. We're probably about to go dead on the Instagram, are we? I've gone over time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick that in there. I'm gonna work on the side because it's easy for me to do that. Switch it to steam. There we go. So I can add my own air along the way. It's such a tiny little nozzle.
That's a good sound that you should hear though. That's a good milk texturing sound.
Mr. Coffee's got a little nozzle.
Oh no!
And so you can hear, and it's actually coming up to temperature right now, and it's actually doing a pretty effective job. We'll see how I do.
So size does not matter, is what you're saying?
Didn't Mark hit me off with that yesterday? Where'd that coffee go? It's a family program, you lot. Alright, so you know what? Watch this. You guys can't see this at the moment, but let's see what happens here.
Wow. That did a beautiful job with the milk.
Look, I'm a roaster. Check it out. So actually, for, what did we just say?
40. Well, it's about $55.
$55. Even as a milk steamer, $55. But as an addition, it makes coffee too. So cool little machine. Actually, it's the first time I've used it, and
how's it taste?
It's going to taste awesome, of course. It's Oceana Coffee. All right, guys. You know what? It's 11 o'clock. The gram's about to die.
Yeah.
It's Sunday.
Reminders.
It's Sunday. Reminders. My reminders this week. Oh, Monday. Oh my God! Don't forget, please. Whatever you do, don't forget. Tomorrow, remember Monday. Both of our locations are open. 20% if you're a VIP member and a VIP member card holder. 20% off everything in both our stores. All the coffee. Yeah, all the coffee. Free shipping. The free shipping new code went up on the website yesterday or the day before. WFH April. I've got to make sure I say that WFH really nicely and clearly. WFH April, all in capitals. So that's up on the website. Please, if you're on the website, please follow the directions. Please put the actual grind that you want at the coffee, at the choice of the coffee. Putting notes in that doesn't help us. Putting notes in as if you want to send it to a friend and say, hey, we love you, this is just thinking of you. That's what the notes are for. So please follow the directions on the website. Choose the correct grind that you're looking for. And select free shipping. We're actually going to change that method. No, you have to select free shipping at checkout. So use the code, and then that shows you a button at the very bottom at checkout. Please click on that choice, free shipping, free shipping, free shipping. So we're shipping free anywhere in the country for however long this nonsense and this quarantine lockdown lasts. We'll be doing free shipping. So please get into that. Tell as many people as you can. The toddy competition is on. We're announcing the winner tomorrow. 5 friends, tag Oceana Coffee. 5 friends that who you don't know that use Oceana Coffee, that should use Oceana Coffee. Get the word out there, please. We really, really appreciate it. It'll help it all go around and help us all survive that a little bit longer and keep coffee real. My hat's off to all of you. Thanks for joining me. I've had a blast. I really am enjoying this, and I really hope that I've educated you guys at some level for something today in the kitchen. That's me. We're done.
Tag your friends.
Tag your friends. Go get a hug.
Or a huge
And then
bourbon.
get some bourbon. Bye.